What if one of the biggest reveals in the Cottage episode isn't that Ilia and Shane desire each other? What if the bigger reveal is that they actually like each other? Because those are not the same thing, right? Desire can be intense, it can be immediate, it can live in secrecy. But liking someone, really liking them, is different. That's what starts to come into focus in this part of the Cottage episode. Not just attraction, not just heat, not just the thrill of being bad together. There's something softer, something steadier, something that starts to look a lot more like affection and maybe even love. And that's part of what makes this episode so powerful. The Cottage episode isn't just about where Shane and Ilya get more time together. It's where the truth keeps getting clearer. Welcome to the Good Life Lab, where queer stories meet the science and psychology of the good life. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave, and this channel is all about providing clues, tools, and tales that can enhance your life in some way. I'm a therapist, college professor, and positive psychology researcher turned YouTuber and content creator. And I really want to just provide content that not only highlights queer stories, but that gets you into some of the research behind what makes a good life. How do you have a good, happy, meaningful life? And if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I'm about 300 subscribers away from the 1,000 milestone mark that I'm shooting for, so I'd really appreciate it. And if you're new here, we're doing a month-long Compass Quest contest, I'm calling it, where you can win prizes by collecting clues that I provide in my videos and on my website and on my Substack, and kind of introducing you to some deeper content that I have. But hopefully it's simple, fun contest that highlights some of the scenes and themes from Heated Rivalry, some of my own stories, and the positive psychology research that I'm doing. So if you're interested, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And as we follow some clues from the Cottage episode, I'll also reveal some clues for the Compass Quest contest. And just so you know, the Compass actually is an acronym I developed for my coaching process and framework. So the first letter C is what we're highlighting in March, and that stands for clues as coordinating points. So listening for messages in everyday events that happen in our lives that could be telling us something about our lives, about direction we should take, about meaning and having better relationships. So that's the idea of this episode, but also my Compass framework. So today I want to look at 3 more clues from the Cottage episode and revelations that happen between characters, between the audience and the characters and the story. That's kind of the idea for today. 3 more clues. The first scene I'm talking about today is Ilya likes Shane.
I like you.
This one may sound simple, but it's actually pretty huge to me. Now it's not just that Ilya wants Shane, or that he's obsessed with Shane, or even that he's attached to him. Now we know he likes him. And liking can be underrated in relationships. Because liking someone means you enjoy their company. You're interested in who they are. You take pleasure in them beyond the charge, the chemistry, the fantasy. You like the way they talk, the way they walk, the way they react to things in the world. That matters. Especially in a story like Ilya and Shane's that began with rivalry and with competition and with sex and years of living in secrecy, because liking someone suggests that this relationship has grown some roots. It's not just something they do, a hookup every few months. It's someone Ilya, genuinely wants to be around. And I think that's one of the quietest, but maybe perhaps the most beautiful reveals in this episode. Okay, Cottage Clue Reveal number 20. Shane actually likes Ilya. And so all that was true for Ilya in this is true for Shane.
I like you too.
He likes Ilya too, which again sounds obvious at first, but I don't think it is. Because for so long, Shane and Ilya's relationship has been built around intensity, around secrecy, around competition, physicality, need, and distance. The Cottage keeps revealing that underneath all that, they actually enjoy each other. They know how to play, how to rest, how to be silly, how to be tender, and all that matters psychologically. Because in relationship research, one of the strongest predictors that a relationship is going to be sustained is not passion. It's friendship, it's fondness, it's admiration. It's genuinely liking the person that you're with. And that's one of the foundational research findings from the Gottmans, who are well known as psychologists in this research relationship field. And they found that healthy relationships are built on friendship, not just passion or this sexual energy charge. And that's what the Cottage episode is revealing to us, that Shane and Ilya are not just lovers, not just rivals, not co-conspirators. They are becoming friends, companions, people who like being with one another. That's a reveal. Okay, which leads us to Cottage Clue Revealed number 19. Shane likes being bad with Ilya. They both do, but there's more to it now.
Maybe it was a first, but
Not now, and not for a long time.
For me, it's one of the clearest turning points in this episode because Shane names something really important. He likes being bad with Ilia. He likes the passion, the danger, the secrecy, the intensity. He likes that. They both do. But now Shane feels more than that, and he's declaring that to Ilia. And that more is everything, because this is where the old framework begins to break down. For years, maybe the relationship could be explained as chemistry or convenience, a hookup, a fantasy, rebellion, any of those types of experiences that we all kind of long for and hope for in some way. But once Shane admits he feels more, that he wants more than that, that old framework of their relationship for the last 10 years begins to fade away. And I think a lot of people know what that feels like. And I think this is where the Cottage episode becomes psychologically rich. Because one of the things that positive psychology and relationship research has found is that a good life isn't built on intensity alone. It's built on affection, on liking, on enjoying other people, connecting, trust, shared meaning, and emotional safety. It's not that passion doesn't matter, it does. Desire matters. But if a relationship is going to hold, it usually has to become more than just a place where you get charged, sexually or otherwise. It has to become a place where you feel known and liked and chosen. And that's what starts emerging here, and why this episode hits people so hard. Because it isn't just sexy, it's relational. It becomes more real. It's showing us when desire begins to grow some roots. And honestly, that's part of why this Cottage episode means so much to me, I think. I can think of a time with my partner when we were kind of early in our relationship, living together and enjoying life. And I remember one time we came home after going to a play, and got some takeout and brought it home and sat on the floor watching TV. And I remember him just turning to me and saying, I really like our life together. And he asked me, what about you? And I said, yeah. And it just made me think, though, at the time, like, that's so nice of him to say, so insightful, so present of him to say something like that, and just reflected to me the importance of not just having a life together or having the passion and all that comes with having a meaningful relationship, but that he actually liked our life. He liked me in his life. And that meant the world to me at the time, and stands out to me over the last 14 years as very memorable. This is a significant memory, even though it was so simple to me that he said that. And again, especially for somebody like me who was in the closet for so long until I was in my mid-40s, a statement like that from my partner and seeing scenes like this in heated rivalry really means a lot to me, really stands out to me as clear examples of something that seems so ordinary, but is so powerful both in the series and in my own life. So let me ask you as I close, what in your life is beginning to whisper to you, maybe calling you to something deeper or better than what you've been living? It could be a dream, maybe it is a personal relationship, maybe it's a creative calling of some kind, a vocational calling that's calling you to something different, it's whispering to you. That's part of this clue that I'm trying to get at. What do you see as kind of repeated patterns in your life that's whispering to you to something different? Maybe it's a version of yourself you've been trying to keep in the background. It doesn't even have to be as big as, it feels coming out of the closet and trying to be who you are and in your orientation, identity. It could be something smaller, like I mentioned, like a dream that you have. Maybe these whispers that you're getting, and if you pay attention to them, are calling you to something deeper. It may not be something that you're certain about, that you're hearing it correctly or seeing the patterns correctly, and don't feel the pressure to do anything like I said. Just begin to pay attention. And if you're following along the Compass Quest and looking for clues to gather that you submit at the end of March, go to my website and the description below for more details. But the next clue in this series is matters. So write it down. You don't need to do anything with it yet. Just keep track of these clues that I'm giving you in different episodes. And then, like I said, gather them together. And when my website opens up, I'll let you know, and you can submit them for a possibility of winning one of 3 prizes. And if this episode has resonated with you and you want more content like this, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It helps me know that I'm on the right track, but that also I can continue to do what I'm doing. So please subscribe if you would. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode, and enjoy the Compass Quest hunt. Have a great rest of your day.